Welcome to Starter Steps Learning video. Today we're going to talk about all or nothing mentality. One of my favorite things to talk about because I find that it's pretty common in our culture, my culture. And most of the people that I talk to are people that come to me, especially surrounding weight nutrition and fitness plans. There's an all or nothing mentality in what we're going to do. It's very trendy to be like, I'm eating gluten free, so there's no gluten, or I'm eating low glycemic index only. I'm eating keto, or there's these very like staunch, rigid applications, and if you have bread, it's over, right? And then you're like, oh my god, I might as well just have cake and pasta and a bowl of rice with frosting on top, right? So that is sort of like that all or nothing mentality. More realistically, what that looks like is Friday night, I went out with friends. Did really well all Monday through Friday afternoon. Friday night after work, we met, we had a couple of drinks. Everybody ordered appetizers, definitely not what I was looking to eat. And we had a great time, and I didn't really make the best choices. I ate all the things. I had one more drink that I really intended on having. And then I woke up on Saturday. I didn't feel super energetic, but what was I to expect? And I was kind of bummed out with myself because I'd worked so hard, most of the week, and then I kind of blew it on Friday night. So when I woke up and my boyfriend was like, hey, want to go get brunch? I was like, yeah, sure. And I got like, waffles with, whipped cream and a muffin because, whatever, I'll just start over on Monday. Okay. And so this is sort of a more realistic approach of all or nothing and how that plays out. When we want to try to find the middle ground, and this can be really challenging to put into practice, let's say the exact same scenario happens all the way up to Saturday morning. So we are actually after the actual fact, the actual moments in time where you've had the drinks and you've eaten the food. That's past, okay? Nothing's changing. Saturday morning is the pivotal point here, not Friday night, okay? We're not changing Friday night. We're keeping that because that was fun, and we weren't super rigid, and we didn't have to pay attention to what we were eating, and we were social. We had connection and community, and those things are all very super important. So that when you woke up on Saturday morning, now you were like, okay, last night was so much fun. Not feeling 100%. I'm gonna make sure I get in my water because I'm a little bit dehydrated because I did have an extra drink I hadn't planned on, and I got a little dehydrated. So I'm going to make sure I'm hydrated today. I did have a couple of extra things last night. I know if I jump on the scale today, those carbohydrate-rich foods are going to be holding on, and I'm going to weigh a couple of more pounds if I get on the scale. So you know what? Maybe I'm not going to get on the scale today. Maybe I'll wait till all of that diuresis is out of my body, 36 hours from now, and I'm gonna make sure that I make good choices today, right? And I'm going to just move on with my life without feeling terrible, and in fact, celebrating that I had the opportunity to go out with friends and enjoy some foods that I wouldn't normally have, and have a drink and have one too many, or one more than I had intended to have. And that is a much healthier way to manage, rather than the all or nothing. I also use this example for clients that I'm working with, and we're trying to get their speed down. The athlete shows up and they're like, I want to run a sub 6 minute mile. And, this is going to take us a couple of months from our starting point. That's great. We lay out a plan. We attend. We do all of, everything that we're supposed to do. We drink the water. We train. We fuel it properly. We show up. We get our sleep. We eat well. We do our supplements. We do everything that we do. And the day that comes for time trial just so happens that athlete got into a fender bender on the way to the time trial. No harm was done, but adrenaline was a little bit high, and athlete runs a 6:02 on the time trial. So we did everything that we could to prepare, and we went from a 6:38 to a 6:02. Amazing. And that day of the time trial, we just had, something out of our control that disrupted what we could do. Now, if we have an all or nothing mentality and we say, I failed. I was trying to run a sub 6 and I ran a 6:02. Then we feel like failure, and all of the hard work has this negative connotation. It feels futile. We didn't do it. That didn't work. I didn't want to sit. Okay. Instead of saying like, oh man, you know what? I was so close. I can't believe it. Certainly just having a car accident, 30 minutes before the time trial probably had an impact on my performance. So all of my hard work and everything that I did right, I'm so excited I wasn't hurt. And I was able to show up and do the time trial and still come within 2 seconds of my initial goal. Nothing changed except for the perception. So when we talk about all or nothing mentality, it is your mindset and how you see that, and how does that mindset go on to the next moment. So my athlete says, that's okay. Fully trained. We're going to set up another time trial for 10 days out from now. And guess what? They ran a 5:57. Okay. So they nailed it. Instead of saying like, oh, I can't believe that didn't work. And I'm like, that was a failure, and getting in their head and be like, whatever, I'll just do the time trial the next season. And, there's a huge difference. So it's not that something didn't go according to plan. It's what did you choose to do when the thing didn't go according to plan. That is your pivotal moment. Not the action, not the not going according to plan. That's no control. Maybe we did, but that's not the point. That's what happened. What did we choose to do next? That is where we really want to focus, and it could feel uncomfortable, right? Because our brains are set up for a negative bias, right? For survival. We have a negative bias. Hey, that person ate the red berry and then they died. Don't eat the red berry. See, red berries, it could be a raspberry. I don't know. It's red. And the negative bias is going for a survival mechanism. So our brains are always on a negative loop. It's really hard for humans to shift. We have to practice. So we have to understand what our thoughts are telling us to do, or what's going to dictate the course that we take. It's not just arbitrary. So we have to practice. So in this starter, you're going to practice focusing on what do you do when something goes off plan. If you've gone out Friday night and you were completely off plan, it didn't, what happens on Saturday morning? What's your next actionable choice? That is what you want to focus on, and see if does that serve you? Did you go in for the waffle with the whipped cream and whatever else that was, forget it, I'm going to wait till Monday? Or did you choose like, oh, I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to make sure I eat really well today because I got to we had a good time last night. I'm going to get myself hydrated and get some nutrients back in. So pay attention. Good luck with this starter.